Hello everyone. My name is Joseph Ojekle from Dreaded Consulting, and in this tutorial, I'm going to be teaching us how we can create our inventory items in Zoho Books. So all you need to do from our dashboard is to go to the item module, and click on items. Now you can click on this plus button or click on this new button. It's still going to take you to the same page. So let's click on the new button. Right, Zoho Books is an interesting software in that it can basically just show you what to populate in each line. For example, if I come to this place, it gives me a prompt of what I'm supposed to do in this place. So let's go ahead to create an item dreaded. Okay, just create an item here and call it dreaded. Sorry, just dreaded dreaded computers. uh Dreaded computers. So we have dreaded computers here. All right, so that's the name of our item. But before we go to our stock counting unit, which is our SKU, we need to specify what type is it. Now, is it a physical item, which is goods here in this case, or a service item? Right, is it a service item or a physical item? Then we can specify. Now, you notice that the moment you click on goods, it brings up, is it a returnable item? But for service, no. So do you understand? So it's a physical item or a service item. So we need to specify. Very, very vital, very, very important. So that you will not treat a service item like a physical item and treat a physical item like a service item. So it's very vital that you do that. So what's your stock count unit? Let's say item. Okay, let me just use cap here. Item for this, just for the sake of this training. And what is the unit? Is it in boxes, in pieces, is it in cms and all that? So you need to specify. Or is it in hectares? If you are into real estate, for example, it should be in hectares or plots. So in this case, let's just have units, or let's have it as pieces, or you could have it as pack, but let's have it as pieces. All right. You can have all these. Very important also, if you are into maybe real estate, you want to know the dimensions, the length, the width and length and all those. You can also populate all this. But one thing I also want us to understand is that the moment you see red letters like this in all books, it simply means that it's a must that you populate something, that it's compulsory. It's compulsory, right? The moment you take this away, for example, we are coming up here, and you click save. It's going to tell you that enter the rate of the item and enter the purchasing rate of the item. Okay, we are coming. Okay, this one is not compulsory. Okay, let's just take this away and let's save this. So let's see what is going to. It said enter the unit. Can you see? So which simply means it's compulsory for you to populate something there. So is there a returnable item? Yes, in this case is a returnable item. So our selling price by default can be zero. So at the point of invoicing or bills, you can definitely just specify all that. So what account do you want this to report to, right? What income account do you want this? What revenue account do you want this to import to? We are having revenue orders, right? You can look at your chart of accounts here and specify what revenue account do you want this to report to. So at the point of your reporting, you'll be able to see all of this. And what expense account do you want this to report to? We're having cost of goods sold. Yeah. And so the description should also be the name of the item, advisably, right? Okay. Dreaded computers. So what tax? Ideally, tax should be 7.5% according to the country. According to Nigeria, VAT is 7.5%. But wherever country you are watching from, definitely you use the percentage of the VAT, and you can also choose to select your vendor within the within this space for this particular item also, but it's not compulsory, but you can choose to do that. So let's track our inventory. Very, very important. It's very important that you track inventory, so you'll be able to track inventory, so you'll be able to have them within your ledger. So it's very, very important that you track inventory. So what inventory account do you want this to report to? What inventory account do you want this to report to? What inventory account do you want this to report to? So in this case, of course, just inventory. But if you are a manufacturing company where you have a case of raw materials, you have a case of WIP, which is work in progress, and finished goods, definitely you should be able to know how to track all those things. So what valuation method do you use? Of course, so many organizations will go for FIFO or FIFO, LIFO, WAC. But most organizations that I know will go for FIFO, wanting their old stocks to be out first before getting to sell the new ones. So let's go for FIFO. All right. So all of this you can just choose to do that later, but let's just leave all of this and let's go into so warehouse name. If you're an organization that have different warehouses in different places, you can choose warehouse for this particular item. And if you're an organization that also use projects like reporting tag, so you can choose and you want to see profitability through those reporting tags, so you can choose to just choose reporting tag for our items that we create. So we are choosing project A and restriction without demo and all that. So all of this is really not compulsory in creating an item, but it's very important depending on how you want your reporting to be and all of those things. So this is a very simple way of creating an item in Zoho Books. So let's go ahead to save our item and let's see. So it's telling us now that select an inventory valuation method. I thought we've done that, which is supposed to be FIFO. All right. So FIFO, let's go ahead to save it now. It should save. So we have saved. New tab for your stock location and all that. So let's got this. So we have an item in the system. So in a case where you want to delete your item, or you just want to delete it and you don't want the item in the system again, you can simply just click on more and delete. But if you don't want to delete, you want to make as inactive, you can simply just click on this and make it. Now, if you make an item inactive, it simply means that you will not be able to do or make transactions with that particular item again. But mind you, if you have transactions with this particular item, it will be impossible for you to delete it from the system. The only thing you can do at that moment is to make it inactive. So what about when you want to clone? What is cloning an item? What does it mean? Clone an item simply means that I want to use the same information for this particular item to create another item. So let's say we have this is dreaded computer. Let's say we now have dreaded training decks. Dreaded training decks. So I want to use this particular. Mind you, your SKU cannot be you can't use one SKU for two items. It has to be different SKU. So we put two. So dreaded training decks in this case. So is it a service item or a good item? But in this case, I want us to use service. So let's call this dreaded ERP soft dreaded ERP software. So definitely this should be a service item and it cannot be in pieces. So let's just put this out of it. So dreaded ERP software, and let's go ahead to save. So we want to use that same information to okay, let's just cancel this. Let's just put this. Right, so we are still having the same information. Don't forget that what we are just doing basically is not starting from the beginning. We are just cloning that item. So track inventory, for service, definitely we cannot do that for service. So let's go ahead to now save our item that we've cloned in the system and there we go. So we have it in the system. So that's how you create inventory in Zoho Books. It's that easy, it's that simple. Don't forget to follow us for more on YouTube and our various channels. Remain Dreaded Consulting. Thank you. Bye bye.